Hey guys, so Thursday we got a quick update about the NPCs, more specifically about narrative events regarding NPCs. There's really not much to talk about here, so it'll be a quick video, but if you want to read about it, I'll leave a link to the post in the description below. So if you've been keeping up with Project Zomboid news, you'll know that the developers are adding NPCs to the game, and to make them more lifelike, the NPCs will have their own lives and goals in the game. When an NPC crosses paths with another NPC or the player, they can recount the events they've been through up until that point. The developers give about 10 examples in the post, and the way they're written honestly reminds me of how the characters in this War of Mine let you know what they're thinking or what they need if you've ever played that game. The post goes on to explain how these NPC narrative events will play out. Basically, when starting a new game, NPCs will generate along with their family trees. These NPCs will be given a random narrative event that will dictate their course of action. Maybe a family member got sick and they tried to take them to the hospital. Maybe they were at work when the outbreak started, and when they returned home they found out their family left the city to avoid the hordes. Or maybe everyone in the family is okay and they're just all trying to survive. NPCs will have an event tied with them that can branch off in many different paths. I'll leave a couple of short ones up on screen for you to see. All of this happens inside the meta, as developers have called it. Basically, the meta is a void where nothing tangible really exists. The game will not spawn NPCs, map cells, or any of the assets if the player character is not in range. But the game will still have NPCs do actions, so they could still loot, travel, be killed, and pretty much do anything that they could do as if the player was there observing them. As soon as the player gets in range, the game will load in all relevant assets for the player to see. When the player does inevitably encounter NPCs, they will recount all important events for the player to know. To avoid reading the same dialogue, the developers have variations for each narration so that you don't read the same 4 or 5 lines of text every time you encounter an NPC. Lastly, the developers say that this is still a work in progress and they plan on expanding this with future builds of the game, even after they release the NPC update. That's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a quick update. Again, I'll leave a link to the post in the description below. If you want to keep up to date with Project Zomboid news, or you want to see any of my other content, consider subscribing, leave a like as it helps the video out, and as always, have a good one.